Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most satisfying endings to movie franchises.
A man has to be what he is, Joey. Can't break the mold. There's no living with the killing. There's no going back.
For this list, we'll be looking at film franchises that went out on top, giving viewers fulfilling conclusions to their stories. However, we won't be including any movies whose stories or characters continued in later installments. Sorry, Star Wars fans. Also, we're talking endings here, so consider this your spoiler warning. Which ending to a movie franchise satisfied you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. War for the Planet of the Apes. Before 2011's rise, many likely weren't too excited about another Planet of the Apes reboot.
Watching this?
But with deep characters and incredible effects, it won audiences over and set the stage for a thrilling trilogy. The conflict between the dwindling humans and hyper-intelligent apes eventually escalated to warfare. Caesar's drive to see his people to safety made him a sympathetic protagonist, beautifully captured again by Andy Serkis.
I did not start this war.
The humans, led by Woody Harrelson's ruthless colonel, were desperate and threatening. The captivating struggle between the two groups came to a head in a literally explosive climax. While we were sad to see him go, Caesar's sacrifice in the name of his loved ones was a poignant and heartbreaking end to one of sci-fi's best modern trilogies. Another film set in the Rise world is in the works, but it won't be a direct sequel according to Wes Ball, who's attached to direct.
7 will know who was father.
Number 9. The Hunger Games: Mockingjay, Part 2. While we're still not sure it needed to be split into 2 movies, the climax of The Hunger Games was still an exciting finale.
You're also a little hard to swallow. The whole tacky romance drama and the defender of the hopeless act, even though it's not an act, which makes it even more unbearable. Feel free to take any of this personally.
The rebellion is in full force here, fighting against the vile President Snow. Many young adult books and their adaptations chronicle uprisings against awful governments. But Mockingjay makes the common plot its own. With the rebellion led by the power-hungry Alma Coin, Katniss is trapped between 2 evils.
Mockingjay, may your aim be as true.
And as the face of the rebellion, she has a tough decision to make. Leading up to the finale, we get incredible action sequences and heartbreaking deaths, including Katniss' sister Prim. But the bleak tale ends happily, with Katniss victorious and living a simple life with Peeta and their children.
You love me. Real or not real?
Real.
Number 8. Ocean's 13. While the series did continue with the spin-off Ocean's 8, Danny and his crew had their story wrapped up by the end of their trilogy.
Yeah. Shit. Where is he? Gotta go.
When one of their own is ripped off by shady casino tycoon Willie Bank, Danny assembles a team to get vengeance. It's a great way to show the camaraderie built between the members over the series. And it has all the witty dialogue and sharp performances that made the first so successful.
You'd need at least a dozen guys doing a combination of cons.
What do you think?
Off the top of my head, I'd say you're looking at a Boski, a Jim Brown, a Miss Daisy, 2 Jethros, and Leon Spinks. Not to mention the biggest Ella Fitzgerald ever.
It wouldn't be satisfying if they didn't completely ruin the life of the villain, which they do, and then some. Seeing Danny rub failure in Banks' face, double-crossing secondary villain Terry Benedict, and making away with millions is the suave ending we wanted for the character.
You shook Sinatra's hand. You should know better, Willie.
Number 7. Toy Story 4. We would have thought that Toy Story 3 was the end, but it turned out Pixar had one final chapter to tell.
Hi, toys. Hi, toys.
After being donated to Bonnie, Woody and his friends deal with an entirely new dynamic. By detailing Woody's need to feel wanted, Forky's desire to throw himself away, and Gabby's aching for a home, Toy Story 4 does a great job at exploring the theme of self-worth for kids.
These are your friends.
Hello. Hey.
Trash. Shh, no, it's okay. Trash.
It's also a fun-filled toy adventure with the return of Bo Peep and new characters like Key and Peele's Ducky and Bunny and Keanu Reeves' Duke Kaboom. When Woody finally gives up having a home to help carnival prizes find homes, it feels like the emotionally resonant conclusion he was always moving towards.
I'm glad I got to see you again.
I don't...
Number 6, Back to the Future, Part 3. By the end of Robert Zemeckis' sci-fi trilogy, Marty McFly has been through the ringer.
No! Bastard!
He's been pulled across time, lost his best friend twice, and nearly died on a number of occasions. So when he finally makes it back to 1985 in Part 3, we breathe a sigh of relief with him. But it isn't just Marty coming home that makes it a satisfying ending. He reunites with Jennifer and doesn't get into the life-changing car accident his future self did.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah, you think I'm stupid enough to race that asshole? Jeez. I would have hit that Rolls Royce.
But seeing Doc ride in on a time-traveling train is honestly iconic. With his new family in tow, Doc gets to have a proper goodbye with Marty, and he leaves the couple with touching advice before flying off on another grand journey.
Your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Both of you.
We will, Doc!
Number 5, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Sergio Leone's The Man with No Name trilogy began magnificently and never let up.
It's not smart to go wandering so far from home.
I reckon he picked the wrong trail.
Or he could have picked the wrong town.
His big mistake, I think, was getting born.
Although each movie is only connected by Clint Eastwood's protagonist, they chronicle his tense confrontations with bandits, smugglers, and other ne'er-do-wells. The final film may be the best of the three.
Therefore, according to the powers vested in us, we sentence the accused here before us, Tuco Benedicto Pacifico Juan Maria Ramirez,
known as the Rat.
It follows the man with no name during the Civil War in an uneasy alliance with Bandit Tuco. But when stolen Confederate gold and a mercenary get added to the mix, it becomes an every-man-for-himself thriller. The trilogy has been credited with launching the spaghetti western subgenre, and it ends in one of the most iconic scenes in film history, a Mexican standoff that sees Eastwood's hero victorious.
You see, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig.
Number 4, Logan. We're bending the rules a bit here, but since Logan chronologically takes place after all X-Men movies and is the end of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, we're counting it.
Sabretooth. Storm. What do they call you? Wheels? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And what an end it is. In the near future with mutants dying out, a withered Logan looks after Professor X, whose devastating seizures resulted in the deaths of several X-Men.
How long have I been here?
Their relationship travels new and heart-wrenching ground, and the bond that grows between Logan and Laura is exceptionally moving. All of this deep character development, plus blood-drenched action sequences, finally gave Logan the opportunity to cut loose. Thrilling violence and emotional growth combine for a climax that sees Logan sacrifice himself for his new daughter.
Don't be what they made you.
And it is a beautiful, tragic goodbye to the character. Number 3, Before Midnight. Watching Jesse and Celine's relationship mature through different phases has been pure cinematic delight.
How do you speak such good English?
Me? I'm American.
You're American?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I knew you were American. And of course you don't speak any other language, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Through meeting in Before Sunrise to reuniting in Before Sunset, the chemistry between Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy produced one of the most honest portrayals of love on screen. With Before Midnight, the couple faced unfamiliar territory. It strove to be just as honest, which meant all the bad that can come from a relationship.
Will you be able to put up with me for another 56 more years? I need to know, okay? Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to put up with you.
No, it's crazy if you think about all the change they saw.
Just like their chemistry in the first 2 films, the anger and resentment between Jesse and Celine was palpable. Love still won over in the end, with an affectionate reference to the first film and an understanding that their love isn't perfect. Jesse and Celine end with the exact charm they began with in 1995.
So what about this time machine?
What do you mean?
How does it work?
Oh, it's complicated.
Number 2, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 2. For a decade, the Harry Potter series built towards an emotional, unavoidable conflict between good and evil. With Deathly Hallows Part 2, the build-up paid off.
You probably don't remember that I showed you to your vault the first time you came to Gringotts. Even amongst goblins, you're famous, Harry Potter.
Beginning with a suspenseful, magical bank heist and ending with a no-holds-barred battle, the finale moved at a riveting pace. Incredible character moments of glory, harrowing deaths, shocking revelations, the Battle of Hogwarts had it all. Seeing Harry agree to sacrifice himself for the betterment of everyone made our hearts ache.
They didn't die in vain. But you will. Because you're wrong. Harry's heart did beat for us. For all of us. It's not over.
Though the heroes were victorious, the weight of what they had lost hung heavy in the aftermath. But life continued on. An epilogue showed the trio sending their own kids off to Hogwarts, hopeful of less dangerous adventures.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. When it comes to satisfying endings and fulfilled character arcs, there's simply no topping Return of the King.
My friends. You bow to no one.
The entire trilogy is an underdog story surrounded by fantastical warfare, and the third entry brings every element to its peak. There's a huge focus on how power can corrupt, from the tragedy of Gollum's obsession to Frodo's breaking point so close to success. But with unbreakable bonds carrying them through terrifying encounters, the Fellowship brings an end to Sauron. From there, we get rewarding ends for the franchise's greatest heroes. Aragorn becomes king, Sam gets a family, and Frodo sets out on another adventure with his beloved uncle. Peace resonates from the film to us, bringing a magnificent end to one of cinema's greatest trilogies.
Well, here's a sight I have never seen before.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.